And we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With that, I would be looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
I make the motion.
With a
I'll
second?
second it.
With a motion by Ed, seconded by Lynn to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Approval of the minutes from June 18th.
Make a motion to approve minutes. I'll second.
Great. We have a motion by Kelsey, second by Amy to approve the minutes from June 18th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Our first petition, our only petition, is docket number BOA 07-17-2501. That is the petition of Lee and Kathy Grobner / Colton Pearson, who seek a variance regarding a single-family dwelling on prime soils.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll go through some slides here to give you some background and of the petition. Please let me know if you have any questions. Project or property location is in St. Charles, section 26. The parcel is approximately 2 acres in size. You can see it highlighted here in green on the screen. In front of you, you can see the location is within a wooded lot south of and west of County Road 37, just on the south side of Highway 14 in between Utica and St. Charles. A little bit closer view of the property to get a sense of what the parcel looks like. It's fully wooded. One of 3 parcels that were created in the mid-70s. Owners, as was mentioned, are Lee and Kathy Grobner. The property is for sale and listed, and they have a potential buyer in Colton Pearson. This is, you can see County Road 37 there. It's a gravel road, local road. Which carries a setback of 65 feet from center line. The proposed dwelling consists of 80 by 60. What I'm assuming he's proposing is like a shed house, that'll be steel sided, a shop with living quarters within it. We did, since it is on County Road 37, we notified the highway department, and they did get back to us and said that they have no concerns, that they will need a driveway access permit, but didn't see any concern with being able to issue that at that time. So a little background with the parcels. As you can see, there's three lots here, each of approximately 2 acres in size. They were created in 1975. I believe that the first parcel was created, and then in 1976, a second parcel was created to be built on. You can see each of those have been built, the one to the north and the one to the south. And then that left a third parcel, a 2 acre lot in between. Since it was after 1970 and we had subdivision regulations, the third lot did not meet the subdivision regs. So in order to do 3 lots, you have to, it's a platting situation. In this case, they applied for a variance from the subdivision regs in 1994, and that variance was granted. So that allowed them to build, to create a buildable lot on that third lot. the subdivision regs, the definition with the trigger for that is the third small split of less than 5 acres or less than 300 feet of road frontage. So since these were less than 5 acres and had less than 300 feet of road frontage, the subdivision regulations applied. And you only get 2 of those small splits before it triggers that need. And so that's why in 1994 the variance was applied for. We see that a lot in the rural areas that subdivision regulations may apply, but it's kind of it's a piecemeal type of situation. It's not they're not like platting an actual subdivision. It's just like a third lot or a fourth lot or something like that. And those situations we have addressed that with variances over the years from time to time. The reason for the variance now is because, of course, in 2011 we adopted an additional standard for soil types. And this whole area, even though it's not in cultivation, is all class 1, 2, 3 soils. And that will be the next slide here, showing the class 3 soil types in relation to the existing parcel. And there's some class 2 soils nearby as well. Aerial photos, we looked back at aerial photos and saw that this whole area, this patch of forested land has been forested and not cultivated going back at least to 1936. That's what else I wanted to mention about that. It is fairly flat at 1 to 6% slopes. And not highly erodible land, probably because of those slopes being that way. It's interesting in this picture is an area of high sinkhole probability. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner of this an oval kind of shape. That's the closest sinkhole to the property. There's a number of other sinkholes to the north and west as well in this area. So here's the aerial photo analysis. The 1936 photos weren't are a little bit harder to make out. So I used the 1940, but it gives you the same idea. That's that same woodlot in the 1940 photo, as well as the 2022 aerial photo there is almost the same outline of that woodlot. You'll also see in the 2022 photo, there is the 2 existing lots. There's also an additional building site to the south and maybe 2, and then a farm that's within that woodlot as well. So I believe there's 5 building sites already kind of in that wooded area. Some photos just showing the existing conditions there from County Road 37. This is looking at the for sale sign in front of the property, just showing that it's thickly wooded, especially along the road frontage. You can't really get in very well or see into the parcel. But you can see on the inlet there where he's planning on building the dwelling and the driveway. Colton did indicate that he wants to keep as many trees as possible. That's one of his goals, is to keep the buffer around him and to keep as many, I guess there's a decent oak and walnut forest in there that he wants to maintain as many of those trees as possible. Here's another photo looking to the north with the lot to the left. You can kind of make out the for sale sign in the middle of the lot on the left-hand side of the road. And then looking north on County Road 37. And then another from the north end of the lot, looking back to the south along County Road 37, and kind of getting an idea of the surrounding landscape back to the east and south. Largely farm fields and dispersed farmsteads. Township acknowledgement form has been submitted, and St. Charles Township declined to make comment with regard to the request. Like I said, we did send it out to the highway department, and they did get back to us with no concerns. I guess before I move on, I'll also mention that we did receive a couple of public comments that are in your packet. These, I believe, are from the direct neighbors to the north and south. And from the Schultzes in both of those dwellings. So perhaps there's somebody else who can add to that, but I just wanted to draw your attention to those comments. They are not in favor of the petition, and I think their comments stand for themselves.
Know where they are on within that forested area, or are they in that forested area?
Yep, so I believe they're the ones just to the north, just to the south. Just to the south, and maybe somebody else here can talk better to that. There'll be a moment that you'll have an opportunity, but yeah, they're direct neighbors.
You mentioned the setback. What is the minimum setback?
Minimum setback from property line is 20 feet from the side, 50 feet from the rear, and then 65 feet from the center line of the road.
Okay, so he's at the minimum then for where he wants to build.
And that's the minimum. What they are proposing is actually probably a little bit more than that. You can see on this aerial photo, the parcel lines are maybe a little bit off. I think the actual parcel line is a little bit to the north, but I think in his, I have to look in his materials, but I think he was proposing to be like 30 feet from the property line. So he'd be meeting it not all the way up to that setback, essentially, a little bit of extra room.
And my other question is, since this had a variance back in, what was it, 94?
Right.
Is the main question the soil type?
It's the soil type, yeah, because it would have been buildable with an administrative permit up until 2011 when we adopted those additional standards.
So when variances are granted, specifically the one in 94, do they last indefinitely?
Yep, they run with the land and are attached to the deed. Yep.
And I may have missed it. What are the frontages or lot widths on the other two lots?
They're all the same. Yep,
200 feet?
yep.
So that 94 variance applied to all three of these lots?
Nope, just the center
Just
lot.
the center
Yeah,
lot?
because the first two were permitted uses. It's the third one.
Because it wasn't
For
used
build,
yet?
it wasn't being used.
Okay.
So when they wanted to make it buildable, they came in for that variance.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Just one final one. The provision that encourages building not to be done on a class 3 soil parcel, is the philosophy behind that to encourage agricultural use, or what is it?
Yeah, it was to protect really cultivated lands, and it just wasn't written with the specificity or the foresight to, that we were going to run into these kind of situations. And we have had comments back that, I think the Planning Commission, County Board have been interested in revisiting that at some point.
Gonna get confirmation from you, this parcel, at least in recent history, has not been farmed.
Right, going back to at least 1936. Yeah. Yeah, quite some time.
Question. Is the woodland that you see in the larger picture, is that contiguous and owned by the farm owner? or whomever owns those?
No, there's a number of different parcels within that. I don't know if we can see, there you can see it. So there's here, if I can step to the screen just real quick. Here's a farmstead, there's a dwelling site, dwelling site,
Oh.
dwelling site, and dwelling site, and then this empty lot in the middle.
So it's not contiguous to one owner?
Nope, all different owners, I believe. There might be, I mean, one or
Right.
two that are, but not, yeah, they're all different.
And the comprehensive plan has nothing about woodland and protecting woodland? I couldn't find it, so I had.
Yeah, I mean, probably more general in like, conservation of natural resources, but yeah, I mean, in this kind of situation, there's more, I would say we've been trying to direct development to areas that aren't in cultivated fields, and finding those areas kind of like this is what would, I think the comprehensive plan would support.
I would just draw our attention to the fact that 40% of woodlands in Minnesota are privately owned. And so they do have a large impact on forestry. And so I know a couple of our members are on the committee to look at the comprehensive plan, and that might be something they would consider is the value of wooded land in Minnesota. So.
Yeah, and I'm to that point too. I mean, we do have steep slope and bluff restrictions, and a lot of those do encompass the majority of our forest lands. But you're right, we don't have a lot of specific forest like conservation. You know, there is a standard also in the ordinance for like if you are building in a forested area that you're supposed to try to retain as many trees as possible, but it's like kind of written like a suggestion more than anything. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Anything else for Lou?
Yeah, that's really all I have. There are two conditions attached to the petition for your consideration as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Lou. With that, I would entertain a motion to open the hearing to the public.
I'll move that.
Second.
We have a motion by Lynn, seconded by Ed to open the hearing to the public. All those in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed? The meeting is open to the public. Would anyone like to speak for or against this petition? If so, just please come up to the mic and state your name and address first.
Hi. Hi, my name is Kathy Grebner, 437 St. Charles Avenue, St. Charles. I'm the owner of the property, my husband and I. We've owned it since 94. The Schultz people that live out there are to the south. So there's Nancy Schultz to our south, and then next to her is Lonnie Schultz. When Jerry and his wife Nancy wanted to move their house, we allowed them a variance, and we signed off from it to allow them to move their house right back in that back corner of our property.
Could you point to that if we see it here?
Their house,
The farmhouse below there?
their house is right here. Oh, this is our property. Their house is right here. It's in the back corner. So it's right up to our property. And we were just trying to be nice neighbors, get along with everybody. So that's why we allowed them to do that. They had the chance to purchase that land in 1994. They chose not to. So we had went through, got the variances to go ahead and maybe build on it someday, and that was our intent. It didn't work out that way. So now we're ready to move on, still thinking that we could give it to somebody else to purchase and build on. Because it's not you can't plow on it, you know, it's wooded lot. And where Colton is planning to put his house, there is not very many mature trees in that area. They're more the birch in that area. So he is really watching where he's putting them. The bigger trees are in the back. There is one up towards the front. And, but I see where it would be between the county road and his house. So, and I don't think he would want to move that. It's a beautiful tree. So where I see him putting his house is like a perfect area for not interrupting the trees, you know?
You've shared with us that the owners to the south
Mhm.
had the opportunity to purchase what I'll call the middle lot in 94.
Right.
Did they have the same opportunity to purchase it recently when the land went for sale or? not?
Yeah, it's on the market. It's for sale. They could step forward and buy it now.
Okay.
So, yeah,
And they apparently are not set back from the property line. That's what you were getting at earlier with what you
Yeah.
said.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've enjoyed our property. They've came over and did hunting without permission. We've not said anything, you know. There's trails, solid trails going through our property from their property. We haven't said anything, you know, so we're just trying to be decent neighbors, trying to just move on in life. So,
But you don't live in the upper part, you live somewhere
no,
else.
we live in St. Charles, in
Okay.
town, in St. Charles. But we used to go out there and just enjoy the land camp, you know, and that was it. So, all right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm Chad Garteski. I'm the real estate agent representing the property, standing in for Colton Pearson. He presented, did you guys get copies of the PowerPoint ahead of time or not?
No.
I printed off copies here for you. It's got a couple extra pictures in it. It's got a septic design that Colton did. He out of town for work this week, otherwise he would be here. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Thank you.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that the original variance was filed by Ed Schultz, who is Lonnie Schultz's dad and Trevor Schultz's grandfather. They're the ones that are opposing the variance right now. So it's just kind of interesting that that same family is the one that actually applied for the original variance to make this lot buildable, and now they're opposing it after they've built their houses. In those pictures, you can see some of the mature oak trees. You can tell it hasn't been farmed in well over 100 years. It's not farmland. And then the back of the report has the septic plans with the primary and secondary septic locations that have the proper soils.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I apologize. I should have brought the petitioner forward first, but it seems to have taken care of itself. If anyone else would like to speak for or against this petition, now is your time.
Hello, I'm John Pearson. I'm Colton's dad. And I live probably just 4 or 5 miles to the north of there. And like Chad said, he's out west on a work trip this week, but I just want to assure you that he will leave every tree that he can. That's his intent. And privacy as well as the forestation. So just want to make sure that's known. So.
Could you state your address just for the
Yep,
record?
I'm
please?
11999 Equine Drive, St. Charles.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and then I will ask for the third and final time, if there's anyone else who would like to speak for or against this petition, please come forward and state your name and address. Hearing nothing, if anyone would, there's somebody online. If the person online would like to speak, just unmute your microphone for us and state your name and address, please. All right, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing then.
I make the motion. Close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Amy, seconded by Lynn to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And that is all in favor. We need a little time to review the additional materials, or would you like to have some discussion on this?
Seems like he's done his due diligence to give us a lot of extra materials.
Yeah, I think the time to protest this being a buildable lot was 21 years ago. So the issue in question here is mainly the prime soils, and I don't think this is gonna disrupt any agricultural land.
Definitely not.
No, I would say not.
I make the motion to grant the variance and include the findings of fact prepared by the staff.
As well as the conditions.
Yes.
All right. We have a motion by Ed. If anyone would like to second that motion,
Second.
the second by Kelsey. All those in favor of granting the petition with the, as the findings of fact are written with the conditions attached, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. None opposed. Variance is granted. I just have to read my disclaimer. All decisions by the Board of Adjustment in granting variances or in hearing appeals from any administrative order, requirement, decision, or determination shall be final, except that any aggrieved person or persons or any department, board, or commission of the jurisdiction of the state shall have the right to appeal within 30 days after receipt of the notice of the decision to the district court in which the land is located on questions of law and fact. Any party that would like to submit an appeal to the decision just rendered at this public hearing must do so to the district court. The planning department is not responsible for filing the appeal. And I believe our last order of business is adjournment.
Make a motion to be adjourned.
Second.
We have a motion by Amy, seconded by Ed to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor. Thank you.